All right. And now Kumasi Asante Kotoko by 1-0. Penalty scored by Sheriff Mohammed. Emma Asante Kotoko secured the 3 points against Medeama. Tough game. We'll talk about the observations later in the evening. But I don't pay as I said players in the year or more ratings. Na yema muhu how I tenase who said players no be a esifa a born homoding a fire. This is Obed TV and we are here to do the digest of issues. Now numerous stories in the banana key observations no so at me and by now coach Ogum said they catch them moment and said there will be a new system. I'll be used to a 3-back system. Indeed, Coach Ogumbo a 3-back system made key a lot of changes because the previous game I called Koboya, Frederick Asare not that goal no or started ahead of Danlad Ibrahim. Again, Ubenya Abranti friend a Justice Blay said all started. Henry Ansu boy he played in the previous game. Yusuf Nuruddin and ball in the previous game and of a boy. I'm gonna back 3 Blay Ansu Nuruddin. For the middle 5, now benya George in figure as a right wing back. Now when you're Enoch Morrison as a left wing back. Middle 3, Sheriff Mohammed just in front of the defense. Now 2 creative midfielders in Eric Zeze and Rich Molamte and the front 2 of Abrantia a friend Kalo Ansu and Steve Mukwala. So you be show pictures of match and Kosono. You try pictures are not illustrating the positioning of the players for you to get a better understanding of sending up players no is if a judge in a park no so Justice Blay ball as a right center back and Henry Ansu the key center back and left center back was Yusuf Nuruddin. Nebum say Ansu Jebon na move forward na all drive team na Nuruddin ene Abrantia your friend Blay or my close space ne kakra send your ball the first so they will be behind him just to protect him and that was the lineup. Kalu and Mukwala as the front 2. Mfege surge forward are the supplies. Now Morrison so surge forward are the supplies with 2 creative midfielders Zeze and Lamte. Obiafa 1 channel. In so say Zeze about the left channel. That means Lamte need to move to the right channel and combine with the right wing back and the right striker. The strikers normally 2. The Baku general right side not normal combining and they position the game and move the game. Through that right wing back position and a George in Fegi a move Okowini a penalty at the a quick switch from the left and our control eventually Okowini a penalty for Kotoko. Now let's go to the game itself. Goalkeeper friend Frederick Asare, a man ratings of 6.5. He kept a clean sheet. Not tested so much in the game now and no boy no. Asare enya so much a test. Bakwa unya was there Omeki a brilliant save. Oji bono a ball pono a Medeama Jane Ajimai a pinball no to atenema referee AJ what we call offside. Meeting I can say throughout the 90 minutes occasions that he was called to action no. Then Sheda endorse him. He had a very solid defense in front of him and anytime the defenders no ever call it on him. That is some build the ball from the back. Coach can some pass it. Now some piamana open up as a channel of a pass for you to leave the ball to him. Now open up and create that supply chain no the players no and pass the ball no man. Send your defenders the pressure and I was impressed with his kicks. It wasn't bad. His confidence in post and how he organized his defense was spot on. Especially with crosses nearby, no PA out. He showed his dominance, and it wasn't a game. Pressure call should be brave, but the fact that Otimiki put a clean sheet, he deserved the applause. Once again, it cements the fact that Kotoko goalkeeping department, one department competition will all pay you, and the boys are doing well with Danlad, Frederick Asare, wins part of crowd, a chance. And people are even saying, say, man, a chance. We will see, say, the FA Cup whether the coach will give him a chance or not. But that was a good game for Freddy Kasari. Now, Justice Blay won the man of the match in yesterday's game. My man is 7.5 or maybe ratings. That goes to Justice Blay. One, this is a player that is coming back from a long-term injury. Throughout the whole season, Justice Blay and ball and started game for Kotoko. He's played for Kotoko, but unstarted for Kotoko. And that is the conversation. Pick it. So Kotoko ne Samatesa. Blay did not get a chance to start for Kotoko. So for Blay to come back and start for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, it speaks volume of the kind of performance Oputu up for a team FN Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Away from that, apart from the performance and the fact that he's coming back from a long-term injury, you also have to include Justice Blay, on the other hand, played in a position we all know ne traditional position, that is operating as a right center back. We've seen Justice Blay playing as a center back in during the Ogum era. And now Kotoko picky injuries. Now center backs ni prano. At the point, Coach Ogum decided Obama Justice Blay about ball as a center back. Throughout, we've had Blay playing as a center back for Medeama and all that. But playing as a right center back in a 3-back system for a player now over here we pre no now raising a lot of questions. Since you check a Kotoko lineup now, the boy against Samates now. Also guessing Japan as a right back, Sharif Mohammed, One Henry Ansu, and Nicholas Osebonsu. And to his team now, Justice Blay was on the bench against Samates. So this was his first start for Kotoko from injury. Makobo, a right center back position in a 3-back system, a calling for so much discipline. Again, the right wing back was a typical striker or a winger in the shape of George Mfege. Into a wing backer or enough defensive understanding of the game. You cannot compare the defensive understanding of a winger to a traditional right back or a center back or as a right wing back. Into onlono dio jiran in chain pair no so no. Ebetimi a player, obetimi a kunu akoka. And we talk about Mfege and how tactically he was disciplined on the field, providing the needed protection, because Obuaema most often say Justice Blay instead of a 1v1 with Medeama, it was more like a support, a 2v1. But that support can never be compared to a traditional defender who understands the basics and foundation of defending. Into Justice Blay Koboho, not throughout the 90 minutes, the only time he exposing the Kakra had to do with a pace. That was Daniel Lumote. Bob could be above fire Justice Blay who fire, which was expected because we all know say Onyenya 100% recovery. Into the pace, and yes, spot on like the Blay we know. But the qualities of Blay, our dear bro Asante Kotoko, I basic near say Justice Blay, a player who shows his presence in the air. Into ball no buffer obey. He's a tough tackler, and yesterday or yesterday, he's very aggressive and Obed making sure say one out that area no call on 1v1 situations and answer or man markewa or making sure say unya that space to exploit, unya that space to punish that Asante Kotoko team. So operating as a right center back, I think he was very, very impressive. Again, Justice Blay, I didn't know when he's playing as a defensive midfielder, almost short passes. On the type of defensive midfielders are from a deeper zone, or a long great pass, and from a deeper zone, or the defense splitting passes. And sir. But I'm making sure say we need born and as a team name builder from a chiwa, the immediate play or banner, or bet me a pass the ball to help the team maintain possession instead of losing possession, because play be better ball or be pass and the team losing possession. Blay most often with the short passes, now the accuracy or so, and that is why he gets 7.5 in my books. A player from injury, playing a position he's not so comfortable with, playing a system he's not so comfortable with, playing against a top team like Medeama with high stakes and high tension. Normal this kind of performance, he gets 7.5 from Mimi ratings. Again, moving away, you talk about Henry Ansu, and from where I sit, the 3-back only player, the ratings, ever from pay, he gets 5.5. Henry Ansu rating. He is the player coach net tax and say or matured enough to organize his back three. He's the one a coach is expecting say obey limited errors. He's the one as the first player to receive the ball from the goalkeeper. And even if the goalkeeper and the ball number Nuruddin and our goalkeeper and the ball number even Justice Blay, he's the one that is expected to call for the ball, receive, drive the team, progress the ball from the defensive third to the middle zone. Either saw the midfielders no, and also we progress here moving forward. Not what's the final third or the offensive zone of the opponent. But clearly that duty no to move went to me and then there were times or ball back you be saying no. I feel feeling a bit scared to progress the ball to draw instead of say when you have the confidence to drive and also when you have the confidence say go for a diagonal ambitious pass be mama wing backs because that's what the coach expected. So on the ball bar Bones Morrison and running, Bones and Figgy running. So call options on the wings. And because of Sheriff, that's Lamptey and Zezeno, you also have options in the middle. And even if you decide to go far, there's Kalo who can deal with the ball in the air. Now will be a Wichiato at the Amamukwala. By all those attempts, you realize that Ansu was shaking and went to me and display when it comes to that pass. Again, with his tackles, he was very fortunate not to pick a yellow card in yesterday's game. The tackles, to some extent, not the timing, was not entirely right. When you're an excellent game and there's more room in terms of improvement, much is expected from Henry Ansu as compared to Justice Blay playing as a centre back. Much is expected from Henry Ansu because he did say he's extremely matured and on Black Galaxy camp. So all in all, not a bad game, Abeka said, or a flop there, but clearly also not an excellent game for Abrantia, your friend Henry Ansu. Again, Yusuf Nuruddin, a quiet day in office, he gets 6 Mimi ratings. As usual, good in the air, tackling Obeyama, blocks Obeyama. The basis that you expect from Yusuf Nuruddin. But I think operating as a left center back now, sometimes so be man now you have to say a defensive left back now or a bit slow kakra. At the point coach Ogum Bema instruction say on a Ansu switch no nunkum finfin. But all in all, at the end of him say Nuruddin ni ya o me mfa bomb fan home or me no one quiet tackles be a better create any infringement. Very careful with his tackles and the timing of his tackles, right? Those are the things branch your friend Yusuf Nuruddin sat down in yesterday's game because of the standard I was set here man. So I'm brosa standard now. Then so Becca said we're not an exceptional game, but all in all was a decent game, and I think he played much better than Henry Ansu as the 3 center backs are one more agent. Now moving to the middle. Well, let's even start from the wing backs. Abrante Freddy Morrison gets what we call 6.5. Very, very efficient over the first 30 minutes of the game. On the defensive time and year, as a wing back, you are supposed to support the attack and support the defense. And in on all those occasions, excellent game from Enoch Morrison. Or Sergio forward out. Which was another crosses near spot on. Normal decent crosses from the left side. Apart from second half now, Obed you be said no. Like I keep on saying, I have Obed from where we talk about it. If you disappoint, we talk about it. But yesterday, Medeama said he played much better than game Kotoko against Samates. I saw the threat in him as a year in Morrison. Also playing in a position that Obed said the natural position. Judging from his performance from Kimfesa, because at Kimfesa, he was a playmaker. Fast forward, at a point number on first 9. But about Kotoko, there were times that Zebo Denebo as a left back. And there were times that Zebo Denebo as a winger. So that position, your positioner, Wabo be paying 2 Timbo left back. Now Timbo as a winger. They're combining him as a left wing backer. As a Timbo. But clearly, you also have to understand, say, player na kase nyankobo number 10 ebia baby alam tennis as airborne e ho baby na nkonya obo but coach depending on talent decided to operate him as a left wing back, and the duties of a left wing back you have to give credit to Enoch Morrison for getting the job done and he gets a 6.5 or Mimi ratings. Later, be in a film, I'm Isaac Opwaba. But at the time, I in a film, no. Now, to most and the modern mono, when good when in terms of opening up, which was very, very important. Open up a critique that vacuum or left her because that's not take role now, coach in the man here, and that's a good job from a branch friend Enoch Morrison in yesterday's game. Not that disappointed or compared to matches I know about Babara against Medeama, against Dreams, free bench by no. One shot and Bobo Papa Bia, but the right game in the day. Say he played a decent game, and I think say or twice to say he can cement his position in that starting Kotoko, starting 11 because Kotoko, Nicholas, Don Teleku, Nana Benini. The coach decided so do ball as a left wing back. Now so to me boni year. Naturally, so Obed me started benching these players, and you can cement your position or the left wing back position. The right wing back was George Mfege. He won the penalty, which was extremely decisive. Indeed, he gets a rating of 6.5, just like Enoch Morrison. I think he's playing with an injury because Oko from twice. And before the penalty, he was signal bench, of pain or two and an decent game from George Mfege. At least minutes kakano di were short no so no. It means that not rule I say. So most of those and figure are picking ball now. No are picking from Kotoko zona what the ball no moving forward. Because on himself or a winger there. But now the rule here say he's not just a winger. When Kotoko is defending, a song so back, a beshe chirobi. Or beshe chiroha na ma back na aklusu. Na send spaces in the ball Kotoko. Or more central defensive zone. I get to and it was not sad and I see no Baba support. So when I was talking about Blay, I made mention of the fact that George Mfege and Shannon Blay Obed or Baba support no. Medeama phone benya ball ni biano. Na 1 versus 2 players in George Mfege and Justice Blay, which was very, very decent. And let's give him credit for that performance. I think one good when the say to the extent that he even won a penalty that decided the game, and the penalty was his last touch of the ball. On a penalty na coach in film because he was complaining, say, we're picking up an injury, and that is George Mfege for you. Now let's move to the midfield and let's talk about the other players. With the midfielders, just like Kokobo Nations, I'm a man, all the midfielders 7-7-7, no. I think yesterday's game, I'm tempted to give them the same ratings. Sharif Mohammed gets a 7, which Molamte gets a 7, Eric Zeza gets a 7. Sharif Mohammed Emma the defense in the necessary shield from the middle. The shield from the middle. Because when I saw the lineup and I was thinking, say, Blay Nebejina defense name for Sharif Mohammed to go to the right center back position. Because now Shah on an as a right back pen with Ogun. Until you are as a right back pen. Wabo as a defender so pen. So I was thinking, so okay, fine. Blay moment be jina in fin na Sharif Momuko the right center back position ebeboa, but Coach Ogum had different ideas and decided to Sharif Mom jina defense name. Against Samates, I talked about the fact that Kotoko may say Sharif, and I was saying said no under suspension. So I was telling Andrew Sintimen and Michael J. and I said, boy, no more boy, you know. One here Sharif back coach, you know. A drop form. So I was not surprised a coach no a drop form or ball. Sharif Mohammed, the tackles spot on, interceptions spot on. Reading the game. Say ne three back no when backs no corner nim bebra or stay send all the ball nearby. Kotkobenya at least 4 men at the back. The understanding of the rule was very, very important because the rule now more practical, which coach in the entire week. Tina Saturday me catch us say Kotoko a 3-back system. So rule now coach in HMOno. Players then take their individual duties on the field. And my operating as a team no very, very difficult. But clearly you could understand say Sharif Mohammed not take assignment and I say inti no nkone nimbebre. They be making sure say or center circle so that he will be the first player to act as a screen, as a protector for the Kotoko back line. Senior omo exploit omo bebre, and he did so well. when a saw winning foul or winning, when a saw what we call the tactical fouls that prevent or slows your opponent's transition or your opponent's build up by one word the other. A some wow ma me back players now quite no actually organize your moho, and you also make sure say you don't pick a yellow card when you are doing this. And that was exactly what Sharif Mohammed in yesterday's game. Now the tactical fouls no 19 or better kakra one said I'm 10 here, but the bem was slow down. The rate at which now total control over the ball no say now 80-20. By the time I sign Sharif no maybe about 50-50, making it easier for the Kotoko defender at his back to pick the ball and prevent the opponent from building up. Not your assignment. I said, Eric Zeze, you need to give him credit. I saw a match tactically disciplined Zeze than the other matches I'm ahead of Zeze. One thing you talk about Zeze near say, or the confidence over the ball. And he creates the chances. And now I say there was back one picking from Kotoko center circle. It took you on about 3 players. On that occasion, Zeze needed to be selfish, but we decided because now the body a movement no open up. Ama Medeama following who say obe passable no e ama Kalo Ansu. And at that moment got me twisted by a boy and kebe easier because now even at the time of passable no ma Kalo no, the players on the field were telling him say no shooting, and that's the problem. Sometimes on one kasa kwa no ko shootua, we turn out to say he's selfish. But I know say in the act of chance creation, the difference between Zeze and Lamptey is that Lamptey no have the ability to spot spaces on the wings. The amount for say Lamptey passes here diagonal. Yes, it is diagonal. But what you realize, social game in here, most often on the ball never call wings one. But say play or the command or wings no space. Now or no idea the crosses. So Lamptey might not be direct when it comes to giving assist, but his involvement or breaking defensive line with his passes sometimes and then you know the go straight. But the back channel, both and that player now the space and the time say so ya cross so no kasa cutting about the bar with most or that liberty. Zeze's dimension is also different from that of Lamptey. Whilst Lamptey look out for those quick passes now, Zeze take on players and he goes with direct passes. Why that Zeze passes now is more direct than that of Lamptey. And that is the brilliance of having 2 creative midfielders. Timer Ogumba first. Ogum no prefer Lamptey and Fabio Gama because not 2 players no kind of be a fast born boy different. Gama and the any obetron will be obema direct on the any direct. Lamptey the any called diagonal. It is anytime any of the players be pick a ball depending on the space you know. Ultimus and I could me create a chance through that angle and through that channel. But this season Ogum was playing 1, which was Lamptey against Medeama. I said it on Saturday. Said Obed more attacking, and it was a Lamptey and says so no more say and almost game, especially how they support defense without the ball. Zeze's job was Jan Vital. Into say anytime Medeama benya ball, Zeze focuses on Jan Vital. Lamptey also focuses on another player. The only problem with Zeze say most often Oshe referee dodo. Or the assignment na se Oshe referee dodo. And enye ball bia na referee be jama. So his reaction when referee anje ball no raise issues pa and kaya there was an infringement in the second half. Charles Bulu call warning no. And Bulu warning because of incident outdoor. Na SCC on the folder now we're challenging no. And the ma Bulu echo warning. So that is the only thing I mean who here. Now a bit wrong with Zeze, but all in all, na oti ejuma na se ejuma ni ye, and all the midfield 3 Kotoko, Sharif, Lamptey, and Zeze, they get a 7 in my books. Mukwala gets a 6.5. No lucky finishing. And no game no. And yes, Anka Mukwala should have been on the score sheet. Mukwala, Oba Kotoko first season, I'm on for if he said. But 5 matches, not goals number, but not all set chances pa. And there Mukwala ya there in the rounds, ni take ons. Or ya there pa. And I think the tactical team or the technical team of Kotoko realized say playing him as a winger no and said I'm one the entrance a front two next either say Kalo no bebe chira beje no de akọ and answer Mukwala and bebe chira no beje akọ but anytime be a wako bebe chira beje akọ be a bako da ho and you realize that say Mukwala na etia obe something like a cross which in him say Kalo you're very good in the air say Kalo so tia obe something like a pass which you all know say Mukwala is excellent when it comes to his movement and ability to take on players. So he not here, no so tia Jumana say Ebo Jumani ye pa and my team Asante Kotoko. I was impressed with him. His take-ons, his rounds, was that decent from Mukwala. The only thing that is missing is the final delivery, the finishing touches, which he needs to work on it. If he gets that, I think it's a ball, and it was decent enough to warrant him another position in Asante Kotoko starting 11 in the next game. Player me, the ratings were from par in yesterday's game was Kalo Ansu. I will get only 5 out of 10. Ogum can say our press conference no here and he said Kalo without using the head sometimes or you free game at the same time Osaka said Oboba Kumienu na mfa no I disturbed and a done who depa against Medeama. It wasn't a good game from Kalo Ansu. After the game, lot of people were saying say it would be better for Coach Ogum to drop another midfielder and play Mukwala as the only number 9 with the wing backs and have another midfielder. So no another man for if only Baba Yaya fit there and you offer Baba Yaya to Mukwala Echi as number 10 with Zeze and Lamte. I bet raising the level of creativity our Kotoko team with Morrison and Infegi. So you can imagine Infegi, Morrison, Mukwala, Zeze, Baba Yaya, Richmond Lamte, all operating our Kotoko anymore. You can imagine the level of creativity and attacking options at Team Nibenya. But Kalo did not play well. I say Kalo struggles with footwork. And now there was one opportunity whilst Kotoko on the break na Medeama defender and a tough one. Kalo picked ball and everybody was shouting said Mukwala had already started his rounds. Umpia ball into Mumano and he was slow. By the time Umpia ball Mukwala na I difficult. Again, 1-on-1 no when you 2 and he's been getting a lot of 1-on-1s pa. Obnya that's over ball am obi no waje. Obebona goalkeeper channel. The ability to score with the leg, he have a problem for Kalo Ansu, and he gets a 5 in my ratings. Not the best of games for Kalo Ansu. And if BBC to Aswa, you will definitely force the coach because if Julius Oforizigi is fitter, he's a much better player on the ball than Kalo Ansu. Oh yes, Alabama coach now drop you might be getting the goals. Don't forget Ogum wants results. Pressure will coach in the super into results. And into not start saying no about Mukwala. Mukwala anya de no ma o Kalube boy I will share 2 goals. And now ma work team. So he need to work on that because consistent looks like after Diana game any after nations they put basa and especially team in the ball to from Bonsa Kalo Ansu or Yaira. His energy you will love it. Yambo ball nko wiem goalkeeper boy sim Unchinto Emma Kotoko and gaining possession will be to her for that job no yard here. But as a striker, and you be a ball never for you. There are times a ball never from which is a present to put the ball at the back of the net. And that job nedia would move and more than 1 hour for. Coach Ogum gets a 7 my ratings. And run game management was okay. Kotoko after scoring pressure ban so the 3-back system on one and the selection of the players, he had it right. The position of the players, he had it right. And let's give him credit. Now, Isaac Opon Bemu, Peter Aqua Bemu, Emma Michael Che Gamana Bemu. Main cast as players, a free bench, and the BB strong, but one or the other, they stabilized the game and they helped Kotoko to maintain that 1 win. So Ogum gets a 7 in my ratings. I think still a Juma with Tim Nopa. This was not a convincing performance for Asante Kotoko. Yes, you talk about Medeama, said we'll lose to the Nibreba or about the CAF Champions League into many abre. But clearly, this was not a convincing performance, but the results was what Kotoko needed. Imagine saying Nenka Kotoko and winning yet can common be different. So let's give the team credit for their excellent job. But still, Ejuma Ohun as a coach in here, improvement is a must, especially on some players. Henry Ansu must improve. Yusuf Nuruddin, standard now set, on drop way there, but would become one any bad. I'll talk about Kalo Ansu. I'll talk about Mukwala, how they need to work on their finishing to aid Kotoko. All in all, it was a decent game, and let's give credit to the team for picking a hard win against Medeama. Nami aduma ebe share numre na dia kem nyina ye dia prem.